Welcome back to the Rundown Podcast. My name is Abe Hicks, Hugh Jakey's guy over here, and my main man Dylan Kearns with the funny glasses, the big glasses, Mr. Four Eyes over there. How you doing, man?
Yeah. What did Future say? Life is good.
Life
Life
was
is
good.
good. Life is good, man.
Yes,
Just
sir.
graduate on Friday. It's crazy, but I'm ready to talk baseball. I love
You
talking
ready to talk
baseball.
baseball?
I whipped out these glasses. I felt in my inner Harry Carey today. I was like, behind these things. I look goofy. Who cares? It's funny.
Yeah. You're not gonna be the whole show like that, are you?
Absolutely. I can't see anything, Abe.
Oh, you kind of look like those kind of like clown glasses.
Yeah, well, it makes sense with all my clown takes on this show, but
Speaking of a team that has been clowning lately, the Chicago White Sox. They have not been very good. They have been 4-6 in their last 10 games, and they've gone cold. You can honestly say they've been cold this whole season. But what has happened to the White Sox?
I think it starts right at the managerial position, man. I
Boom,
know. I just threw this hat on right as I talk,
boom,
right? Boom.
yeah.
It's these guys that we're talking about here, the the
Mm-hmm.
the, the good guys. As Hawk Harrelson would say, one of your buddies. Um,
Yep.
you know, the Chicago White Sox, 34 and 38. I get it. You deal with injuries, right? I get that. You understand Lance Lynn missed time to start the year. Eloy Jimenez has been absent. I mean, that guy was terrible when he played in the bigs. He got
Okay.
hurt.
He's only played
But
11 games though.
yes, he only had 11
Yeah.
games. I'm not basing that sample size. That guy doesn't have an extra base hit in a rehab assignment. I get it. He's still getting better. But
Mm-hmm.
I question they need him to be a savior. They need him to say, hey, I'm coming into Chicago and I'm going to save your season because they're 34 and 38. The Guardians, bro. The Guardians are better. And I know they got Jose Ramirez having a heck of a year, but
Mm-hmm.
they just seem to get good. I say this about the Chicago White Sox. It starts with Lucas Giolito. That guy needs to be your ace. He's been getting shelled. I mean, there's starts where you don't feel confident. It used to be like, oh, Giolito's taking them out. We got to
Yeah,
win today. Cease has
for sure.
great stuff. Giolito's been getting rocked a little bit. That's problematic for me. And also the managerial position. Tony La Russa's clueless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I totally agree with you, Dylan. What has happened to the White Sox? And this is what I have to say. They haven't met they haven't met the expectations this year because the expectations to begin the year were too high. They're too high. This baseball team is average. They're an average team. Dylan, what has happened to their power? When we think of the White Sox, we think of a team that smashes lefties, that hits a bunch of home runs. No, they are 26 in home runs this year. They only have 59 home runs. 59. They are 24th in slugging. On the pitching side, they're 22nd in ERA. And like you said, they have an incompetent manager like Tony La Russa. This guy, he can't elevate this team at all. And that's what a manager is there for, to make the correct decisions. And we know he can't make any good decisions. I mean, this is a guy who walked Trey Turner with the guy on second with two strikes. With two
Yeah.
strikes. You're not winning anything with Tony La Russa.
He's a little old schoolish, but I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I'm just saying he's. I don't think he's a good fit for this ball club. I
I
know
don't
there's a
either.
lot of young players. It's a little disastrous. And you talk about the power. I mean, Yasmani Grandal, 23 bombs last year, only 2 this year. He's missed time, only played 50 games. Jose Abreu only has 9. This is a
9.
guy who hit 30 last year, right? And so it starts there. Tim Anderson's never been a big power guy. That one year, I was like, all right, maybe he's just flashed it a little bit.
Yeah.
But Luis Roberts been solid. I'll give him that. Left field, right field's weird. Pollock, Sheets, like those aren't like, yeah, let's go. Like those
Mm-hmm.
aren't guys that you're thinking you're in a championship roster as a starting player. Second base has been up in the air. I mean, they bring in Josh Harrison. He's been okay in stretches.
Is
Their
Moncada
catching
hurt?
position, nothing. Mokada's bringing you nothing either. I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
you're really getting no power in your lineup because the catcher position, the first base position, and DH last year really brought them some power.
And that's been non-existent this year. I think that's the biggest thing that has been very puzzling to me, is that their power has disappeared. And we've known the White Sox. I'm sorry, we've known the White Sox to be a team that smashes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they come to the ballpark and they rake, and I mean their bullpen's great too, right?
Yeah,
When healthy, Kendall
yeah,
Graveman back there, give a little Liam Hendricks Aussie action. I mean you got that in the bag,
for
and you got
sure.
Aaron Bummer. Like they have some weapons in their bullpen. Their starting staff's been pretty okay. as of late, but I think you need a great performance from Lance Lynn down the stretch, and you need Eloy to come back and really bring that power.
Yeah, but obviously there's plenty of time left in this season, so they have room to catch up. Let me check where they are in the standings currently. They're 6 games back. They're six
Yeah.
games behind the Twins. So I mean, we still got plenty of time. And speaking of close division races, we're going to be talking about the NL Central and the NL West. And Dylan, who do you think? First, we're going to start first off with the NL Central. Dylan, who do you think wins and comes out on top in the NL Central?
Abe, I'll tell you this, and I don't like this. I'll be honest. This is a weird toss-up. I love the Cardinals roster. I
Yeah.
do. I think they could be a World Series winning team, but first-year manager Oliver Marmol, like that dude, that it hits me. Like you got great ball players, Tommy Edman, nice little piece. They're the most defensively sound team of the last 40 years. I mean, I honestly, my entire lifetime, 22 years old, I've never seen them have a bad defensive game. I'm dead serious. Whether it's Matheny to Schilt to whatever, like they're just clean. They're clean. They pitch well. They get timely hits. They're a great ball club. I really like the St. Louis Cardinals. I question the manager. Something about Craig Counsell, man. He could have the worst roster in the league, and this guy still wins 90 games. Like,
He's really good.
I'm telling you, they have the pitching staff. And I know Eric Lauer's on the shelf now. He was pitching all right for a little bit. Brandon Woodruff's missed time. Peralta's done. Like, their pitching staff's taking a hit. That's okay. Call up a Tyler Alexander. Call up or a Jason Alexander. Then call up an Ethan Small. You got pieces. Like, you can pitch and get your way around it. It's just the mathematical game that makes Craig Counsell one of the best managers in baseball, which is why they're going to win the division.
He's good. He's really good. I don't disagree with anything you said. Like you, I love the Cardinals roster. It's so well put together. I trust their hitters. I trust their lineup. They don't have as much. They don't have the pitching that the Brewers have. I will say that. But there is one thing about the Cardinals that I'm just obsessed with, and I think this is what will pull them over the top in the division. It's the veteran leadership. They got the vets who's been there. They've done that. And I think that will go well for them, let's say in the dog days of August. When you're just chugging along, dragging your feet towards the end of the season, I think that's what's going to pull through for them. And I love Goldschmidt. He's having an awesome year. Nolan Arenado has been going off this year. Tommy Edman. I mean, Dylan Carlson. I mean, I love their lineup. I believe it's way more well-rounded than the Milwaukee Brewers.
It is. I'd say that. I think it's more well-versed. You can go up and down. I mean, and then you got that feel. And I tell you, I'll say this. I think in sports, it could be any sports. You come into a season realizing, oh, what's the story? Like what could be a good story? And sometimes that story comes true. Los Angeles Rams winning it in their home stadium. They can get a shot like Matthew Stafford gets it. Like there's so much there. Al Michaels, NBC back in, like there's a ton of stories. Here you get those final years. You get Yadier Molina, you get Wainwright, you get Pujols. Like there's the big things surrounding them. With their postseason experience, I mean, they're making the playoffs, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, they're going to be a team that's like, oh, wow. They're in the CS. Oh, they're in the World Series.
World Series.
Like,
yeah.
dude, you play clean ball, you get good pitching. They'll make a trade at the deadline and get a starter. But
so,
I like the Cardinals roster too.
Yeah, I think for me, it just visually it makes more sense to see the Cardinals in the World Series than it is for the Brewers, mainly because we never seen it before.
Yeah, you get a Frankie Montas in that rotation. Woo!
It changes everything. That changes everything. Now off to the NL West. It's pretty close between the Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. The Padres are only a half in a game out. Giants are 6 games out. We'll see about that. But really, I'm focusing on the Dodgers and the Padres. Who do you think comes out of that?
I don't think you're giving the Giants enough credit, but we'll talk about that later. The
Okay.
Dodgers, Padres, I tell you, the Padres got the pitching. And that's a tip of the hat. I'll do it right now. Tip of the hat to AJ Preller. I mean,
If you
that
think,
guy's
but hey, hold up. If you think the Giants can win it, you go ahead.
I mean, not that they can win it, but I think they're a good ball club. They're a very good ball club. And you mentioned, I talk about last year, right? This team, career years from everybody. Where the hell did Brandon Crawford come from? Where did Buster Posey? How did he take a year off of baseball, come back and just have a great year and say, I'm done? And then
Yeah.
Brandon Belt out of nowhere. Now those guys are all back to where they were 2 years before last year, where they're just being an average baseball players, right? They're still what 39 and 33. That's a pretty solid record. Gabe Kapler's playing this analytical game, the right left situation. He's got pitching with Rodon. He's got Logan Webb. He's got pieces.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that the Giants are just a team that just knows how to win. And I think with Gabe Kapler in charge, he didn't win in Philly, but he got that analytical view when he got to San Francisco. He's platooning perfectly. And I think they could be a team to watch down the stretch.
Yeah. I think in this division, I wanna focus on the Padres. I don't think they will win. I think the Dodgers will, but the Padres, it's almost like they've been sneaky. They've been quiet, mainly because Fernando Tatis hasn't hit their lineup yet. And you would think Tatis makes their team better. I mean, who would have thought they'd be only 1.5 game behind the Dodgers in a division without Tatis?
Yeah, I mean that's huge. You're playing Ha-Seong Kim at shortstop. You're playing, you're getting C.J. Abrams at bats. You're playing a Zokar. You're playing like these guys you just coming out of nowhere. And I know some of them top name prospects, giving them chances, but I mean Eric Hosmer's had a pretty solid year. Machado banged up a little bit, but I tell you, the Padres are just finding ways to win, and it helps with that pitching. And I'll say this: I go back to the managerial thing. I think having a good manager in baseball is a game changer.
It's important.
Huge. And
It
Bob
is.
Melvin comes over, who's won games in Oakland, playing that analytical strategy over there with no money and nothing to do. Of course, he'll win games with Ha-Seong Kim at shortstop because he won games with Elvis Andrus at shortstop. Made the playoffs. Like he doesn't care. He's got a good pitching staff now. He makes smart decisions. They're a good team. And I'll say this about the Dodgers. I know we haven't talked about them yet. Strange to me. Max Muncy, Justin Turner, two guys who got to LA and just had great careers. Very down years this year. Very down. I mean, I guess Muncy walks a little bit. He hit that homer against Tony. Who cares? I think you look at the rest of that. Justin Turner down a little bit. They're going to need Trey Turner, and one guy that's going to have to be good for them down the stretch if they want to continue this success. Got to be Cody Bellinger. You already lost your pitcher in Walker.
Mookie's hurt.
Yeah, Mookie's hurt right now. I mean, I watched Sunday Night Baseball. Trace Thompson's playing it right. I thought that guy was out of the league 5 years ago. Like, I mean, they can't keep doing it this way. I'm very worried about the Dodgers.
Yeah, but I think that is a good point. I don't think they would be able to sustain this without their star powers playing well. But if they can hold their ground for a little bit, I think they'll be in good shape. I mean, I just want to look at something here. Their run differential, they're plus 128 in run differential. That is the second highest in all of baseball behind the Yankees. So, I mean, they're playing well with a lot of their guys hurt. But I want to see them healthy. I think when they are fully healthy, if they can get to that at some point in the year, I don't see anybody top of them in the division. I think the Padres will make it close. And I want to talk about the Padres a little bit here. You know, last year they kind of crashed and burned. They had a lot of hype around them. Didn't have a lot of that veteran leadership. And like you said, the manager comes in from Oakland. He steps in and he brings this approach to where, all right, you know, I didn't have it all in Oakland. Didn't have the resources like I have here in San Diego. I have a better team. I have better guys, and we can do this. We cannot just make a playoff push. I'm sorry, not just a division push here. We can make a push in the postseason. I really believe in the San Diego Padres. Yu Darvish has been amazing this year. Their pitching staff has been really good. My guy, my favorite prospect of all time, Mackenzie Gore, man, has been lights out this year. I think the Padres are sitting there really comfortably, and they're looking good.
Yeah, they are. They're playing great baseball right now, and I mean, without Tatis, once you get him back, I mean, that's an energetic generational ball player, and he's just going to help you out.
Couldn't agree more. All right, now let's switch gears to some All-Star activities. The All-Star game is in a couple of weeks, and usually the highlight of the All-Star weekend is the Home Run Derby. And I love the Home Run Derby. I think it's so much fun to see guys put all their mights into hitting home runs, seeing how far they can hit it. And there's some guys I want to see in this Home Run Derby this year. And here are the guys I want to see in the Home Run Derby. First off, I want to see Alejandro Kirk. I mean, the guy's
Oh,
having the guy's having an amazing year this year. He's probably going to be the starting catcher in the AL.
as he should
But
be.
yeah, sure, that's a different discussion. But think about this. He's a 5'8", short, pudgy catcher hitting tanks at Dodger Stadium. That's just a sight to see. I mean, I want that guy in the home run derby. Number two, second guy, I want to see CJ Crone. Obviously, he gets a little lost in Colorado, not just because they're not very good, but also because he plays a course field. So let's see what you really made of, CJ Crone. Let's see you on the national stage hitting home runs in the Chavez Ravine. Number three, for the for the home run derby, we got to get some star power here. And that star power, Jazz Chisholm. Somebody who's flashy. I mean, he is a emerging star. Everybody loves him. Smaller guy. He has 14 home runs this year. I want to see him hitting bombs at Dodger Stadium. Everybody would be tuned in to watch. He is a fun, exciting player. I want Jazz Chisholm in the home run derby.
Ew, I don't like that one. I don't know if he would do it, man. I question these younger guys if it'll mess
Yeah,
up their swings a little bit.
that's true.
One guy that's a raw power stroke I'd love to see. I don't know if he's been in a derby. I could be wrong here. Where's Yordan Alvarez? I
He's been
think,
there.
yeah. I mean, that guy's just bam, just turn it bam. Like if you want to put someone up against Pete Alonso, that's your guy. Because
I thought about him. Yeah.
Pete's been winning this thing year after year. You need someone that can go in there and say, "Hey, I can beat you. Let's go him." I like him. I like Austin Riley out of Atlanta. I think that's a young guy
Thought
with a
about
nice
him, too.
stroke.
Yeah.
And I won't go this far. I'll say one more name, and then I'll say one that could be a dark horse.
Hey, this is who you want to see in the home run derby.
Okay, then if this is who I want to see, I'll
Yeah.
give you two more. One of them, Jock Peterson back in LA.
Oh yeah.
Giants
That'd be
uni,
fun.
just bam. You know, that's excitement. Everyone loves Jock, right? I think that would be great. And I'm going to his teammate last year, and you're gonna think, oh, Atlanta, you already picked Austin Riley. I'll tell you who's got raw power that you'd like to see.
Who?
Patrick Wisdom. Patrick Wisdom in a home run derby. That guy hits balls 460 feet. That dude he might be a bad baseball player. I mean, he's got a good glove, right? He can hit 220. He can be Adam Dunn for a day or two. I tell you, if you put him, just give him meatballs, that's entertainment. That dude just has a great raw power stroke. I'd like to see Wisdom in there just for fun. I think he would actually compete in that thing if you throw his name in the rain. I don't see many just one-hit wonder guys making an actual derby. But as far as the top names go, I want to see Yordan Alvarez. I want to see Austin Riley. And please, Lord, let me see Jock Peterson.
Nice. I love that list. For anybody listening, I want to hear your home run derby participants. Who you want to see? So like we just stated here, Dylan, Yordan Alvarez, Patrick Wisdom, and Jock Peterson. For me, I had Alejandro Kirk, the short pudgy catcher, CJ Crone, and Jazz Chisholm for a little star power. And that is it for the show. Thank you all for listening. Follow us on all of our socials. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Follow us there. We really appreciate the following we've been growing here, especially on TikTok. Couldn't be more thankful. But this podcast will be out on YouTube, also on Spotify. So take a listen to that. Subscribe to YouTube. Thank you guys once again. We'll be back next week with another episode. See ya.